This is Chris Kell with a simple program review of our 3-day group training cycle. Now with our 3-day group training, we start to introduce what is called linear periodization, meaning we start to change kind of the way we work with rep ranges based upon the month. All right. What 3-day training also allows us to do is change the splits a little bit, whereas with 2-day, it's always a total body workout. With 3 days, we can do splits like an upper-lower total split. We can also do a push day, a pull day, and a total day. And really all that means is that on upper day, we would do all upper body exercises. On the lower day, we would do all lower. And then we have 1 day where we do total body work. And it's the same, all pushing exercises, both upper and lower, and then pulling exercises where we're working the back side of the body. With this, and in our circuit planner here, I've just listed out the months of the year and kind of denoted the different periods that we utilize. So we have accumulate, intensify, and then a couple others. But the ones that I want you to pay attention to right now are accumulate and intensify. What I've already done is I've planned out pretty much the rest of the year, and you'll notice that these just kind of wave back and forth. Okay, we do a month where we lift heavier weight, followed by a month where we're using maybe lighter weight. We're going for maybe higher reps. So that's really the only difference. And then based upon generally with each 8-week cycle, the split will change. So from July to August, we might do total, or we could do as I've done total 1 month, upper lower total the next. But generally with this, you'll know October and November, they're scheduled to do a push-pull total split for 8 weeks. And doing that with those two changes, changing splits and rep ranges, really allows us to kind of indefinitely continue to confuse the body, get this, and continue to allow for physical development. Now with this, again, with the group planner, generally we're going to have a total day on Monday, Wednesday, we have workouts A and B, and then on Friday is going to always be our total day. We're always going to do the Friday throwdown. So, we might do like a push day on day 1, a pull day on day 2, and then we hit everything on day 3, just so we get enough volume to kind of see adaptation there. And with this, we also, I just kind of list out the template that we use for each phase. So phase 1, accumulate, phase 2, intensify, and then phase 1, total body, phase 2, upper lower total, and then the length of each phase is going to be 3 weeks. Generally, we'll do 3 weeks of the template itself. Week 3 is going to be the most intense usually, and then we do a deload week with our Metcon template. Now, moving on to the way that we program, generally here, with our workout A, if I really want to get technical, I'll just put in the rep ranges. But, just for reference sake, anything below from 1 to 5, we can consider heavy weightlifting. Anything from maybe 6 to 10, 6 to 12, 6 to 15, that's more in the accumulate range. So with that, we can just go ahead and move to the template and fill that in. Now, in looking at our template here, we have our warm-up. And generally, our warm-up is going to take about 15 minutes. We perform just some simple activation work, followed by the dynamic warm-up. And again, I have day 1 exercises for our dynamic warm-up, or for our dynamic warm-up, and then day 2 exercises. Generally, again, in a similar way to the small group template, I'm going to choose maybe 2 to 3 hip mobility exercises, 2 to 3 shoulder mobility exercises. I'm always going to choose a single leg exercise also, because that's definitely something that, the balance, that standing on one leg helps to activate kind of the stabilizer of our hip, and by extension we start to do things like a reaching straight leg deadlift where, we're incorporating sort of a stretch, but as well we're on one leg. So that gives us a lot of bang for our buck. The other thing with a lot of these drills, like the Spider-Man, the lateral lunge, we can use what are called hand drivers, meaning like we reach in different directions to also help to get some mobility. And again, I'll just go phase 1, day 2, and we can kind of workshop the mobility drills that we use. The format of this template is very, very similar to our 2-day. We write in the categories of what we want to do: an upper body power, lower body power, some sort of a core. Write in the exercises. For build, we have the exercise Again, upper body push, upper body pull, right in the categories. We have the basic exercise, and then we have the the beginner, the intermediate, and the advanced version. All right, and then we have our auxiliary circuit, where again we list out the basic exercise, and then we have the weekly variations. So here we have a reverse lunge, a one-leg RDL, and an X-band walk for our auxiliary circuit. In week 2, I have a reverse carpet square lunge. In week 3, I have a bag reverse lunge. So, with variations, it's just different variations upon a theme. The client could be holding dumbbells to their side one week. They could be holding a bag in their hands the next week. Really, anything kind of causes the body to just, adopt different adaptions, and that's what we're looking for. So, for the one-leg RDL, that's a common drill that we use, but they could be holding 2 dumbbells in one hand, they could be holding 1, they could be holding kettlebells, they could be using bags. So, there's definitely room for change and variation. Now, for our build clients, or for our chisel clients, this one is pretty simple. After the warm-up, we simply have them do an upper body push, an upper body pull, and a leg exercise as a interval circuit. Okay, and again, these can be chosen from our exercise library here. Actually, all of these exercises can, but again, you'll find our Peak Fitness training system guide here, located in your personal training folder of our Peak Fitness Lakeland folder in our Dropbox. And again, you just find the exercises. We have our, just using the push-up as an example, it gives some cues, shows the progressions, and really for chisel clients, we're kind of looking more at just variations. So maybe you do a single leg push-up, an inchworm, a shoulder tap, and just some others that come to mind, a lateral push-up, a T push-up, just really anything that involves the same pattern but with just a slight variation to it. So generally with this, we'll do a week 1 and 3 and a week 2 and 4. You just write those in. For our agility drills, once again, we're just going to go to our programming spreadsheet here. All right, we're going to find our library, and look in our metabolic exercise library, and just choose one of these drills that we can use. So, say you want to do something with stability ball, you have at least 5 variations here to work with. So you can just, click on it, kind of see what it is, familiarize yourself with it, go back, plug it into the template. Simple as that. So, and really, that's what we're looking at. Generally with this, for our chisel clients, I'll keep it pretty simple. I'll set a clock for both classes so I can see both. I'll set up my build clients with time circuits. We can be in there doing our interval training with our clients, or with our chisel clients, and then we bring the group back together to perform a finisher. With this, we have a 15-to-1 for this week. And again, we've just instructed you to choose level 2 conditioning exercises. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. And it's really the same for workout B. It's the same basic idea. This is a phase 2 template, so you'll see that we just listed out 3 to 5 reps for most of these exercises, and then in the auxiliary, this auxiliary circuit will always be 6 to 10. Really, the only reps that'll change are in the main lifts. So now, when we just kind of scrolling down to the end here, we have our weekly progressions. Okay, now here, this kind of shows us, variations in what we are doing. So say you wanted to do several weeks of, say we were doing 3 to 5 reps for 3 weeks. In the 4th week, we wanted to say move to a higher rep scheme. You could change it to 4x 6 to 10 reps. Whatever it may be. But the point is that once we get to sort of our intermediate clients, this is where we might start to incorporate a little bit more variation per week. But I will actually fill this in for the most part most of the time, and all you have to do is kind of look down here, kind of make sure that, these are being executed week by week properly. And you'll also see that with our circuit training as well, we vary it up. So week 3 is always going to be the hardest week, followed by a deload, okay, in week 4. And that is a simple review. With this, usually when I'm creating this stuff, I'm going to do 2 phases at a time. I'll do a phase 1 template, and then I'll just plug stuff in at phase 2. And really, this allows you to kind of see things globally, meaning like not every exercise has to change. Like I like to keep the main list fairly similar. I might do a front squat month one or a front split squat, but those are two fairly similar exercises rather than saying a front split squat followed by like a glute bridge. I mean, those two don't really go together. So I try to keep as many things the same as I can, just so clients become familiar with it. They have 8 weeks to get stronger, and that's really the main thing. With our auxiliary lifts, they can change a little bit more, but just keep in mind, we want to change sort of the changes upon the theme versus complete changes. So, just kind of review our template. I'll program an example with you also, and that is a review.